Hi guys, it's been a long time. Today is my day off, so I thought I'd do another video. So the video today will be the journey, how we reserved for property in a period of a year and how we end up with this house. The budget was about 100 grand because I was living really far away from Tristan. Tristan was paying rent for one flat in Leeds and I was all the way in Scarborough. So I was paying rent over there. So the budget would just be about 100 grand. So it's enough for us to each individual still have a house, but it's within the budget. So it was one of the Gleeson house. It's pretty semi-cute little house with 3 bedrooms. We went to see it and it's all the way in Bradford. So we love it because it's in the budget. We drove around the area. So we drove in the day. At night time it had a little Asda next to it, but the area wasn't that great, so I wasn't really keen on it. So we slept on it for a while and we decided, no, it's not the one. So the second one was another development in Castleford. It was Persimmon. So at this time it was still a semi 3-bedroom house. The budget was 165k. Again, it was still within the budget, and because we were both first-time buyer, so we could use Help to Buy, and I think the mortgage worked out for 15 years it was £500 a month, which was okay. So we reserved the property, we paid for the reservation, we passed all of the decision in principle. Oh, actually, talking about decision in principle, before you reserve any property, the salesperson would need to give your contact details to one of their financial team just to go through all the paperwork to see whether you are eligible to reserve one of their houses. I think it just reassured them that you can afford to buy the house. So in order to get the DIP or the decision in principle, you would have to go through a list of questionnaires. They just want to know your career, what do you do for a living, if they could look at 3 months payslip, if they would look at the deposit, and if you are receiving gifts from your family or friends, you would have to have a letter with the signature of the person who's giving you the gifts, and your bank statements and the utility bills to prove your address. I guess they would do a little soft credit check as well, just to make sure that you are in a good range, that you are reliable. So we passed that, we reserved that house. We didn't even actually go to see any show home because there wasn't any available. We just kind of go with it, thinking, oh, it's within our budget and it's a new build, it's gonna be nice. So we leave it as that. And I did a bit of digging about Persimmons. I look on Trustpilot, list of the people who have bought houses with Persimmon before. I found some video on YouTube as well about little snagging issue that Persimmon had. So I was a bit not sure. I wish I would have done that beforehand. And then I found a few Facebook groups of people who bought houses and they didn't have a good experience with Persimmon. So I've lost my confidence with it. So I spoke with Tristan and we decided to cancel this house. So we never had a reservation feedback anyway. They kind of just think, oh yeah, you move on, and they stop getting in touch with us. So part of me thinking, it was my fault for not researching, so we didn't chase it up for the refund. So fast forward, the third house, we found another developer within the area, and it was in a good area for Tristan if he was commuting to work. So we reserved this house. This time the budget has gone up to 250k. It was still within the budget because as we're using Help to Buy, we didn't have to have a significant amount of deposit anyway, and with our combined salary we could still pass the decision in principle and have this house reserved. At this time it was a detached house with 4 bedrooms. We got the opportunity to went into the show home of, this is what it would look like. We could visualize how it looked. It was really nice. It had a garage attached to the house. So when you go in, you have a garage in one side and you've got the living room on the other side, and at the back is the kitchen and the dining room. So it's similar with the one that we've got right now. 4 bedrooms, so 1 share bathroom, 1 master bedroom with ensuite bathroom, and the rest was just small single rooms. So we reserved that, and it was gonna be ready in 3 months. So we slept on it again. This time we're trying to speak with our friends as well, just to see the past 2 houses was a decision between both of us, but this time we decided to share it out. We get some experience from people who have bought houses before. So we spoke to them and we showed them the the layout of the house, and she actually thinking, oh, the majority of your bathroom don't have windows, so it will be quite dark and it can cause condensation. So down the line, I mean, they would have extractor, but it would be nicer to have a window in your bathroom. Then we look at the layout, and there was actually quite a lot of dead spaces. They haven't positioned different rooms to utilize all the spaces. And one thing out of this as well, the saleswoman wasn't really helpful. The price was 250k and there was no budget into it. We tried to negotiate with it, but she was like, no, you have it or you don't, and there was no incentive associated with the house. So if we're going to buy it, we would have to spend the money for flooring. So we're trying to ring through to get some quote for if you would have the carpet downstairs, vinyls for the kitchen, and the carpet all the way upstairs. So the extra budget that we would have to save would be extra 7k. The deposit would be 5% the value of the house. Help to Buy, the government will lend you 20% the value of the house, and the rest of 75% will be mortgage. So we would have to save 5% value of the house and this 7k for flooring, because it won't be ready for us to move in. So we thought, I mean, it was nice, it's ready very soon, so we go for it. Afterward, it was like, oh, actually, it won't be very economical. We won't have that money. Like, all of a sudden, having 7k while me paying rent still, and it wasn't that doable, and we would have to save longer to make sure we are ready. If the house is ready in 3 months, we won't be able to move in, or we would move in with no floor. So again, we slept on it and we thought, I think we probably should go for something better. So we cancelled the house. Third time we decided there's more developers in Wakefield, which is more central. It'll be easier for me to, even if I would commute the majority of the time, I'll be getting the train. It would be harder to get from the Normanton, which is where Taylor Wimpey is, to Scarborough compared to where Wakefield is. So we drove around Wakefield and we found Countrysides. So Countrysides, they have variety of style of the houses. They didn't have any show home in Wakefield. So we drove all the way to Manchester to look at the house that we wanted. We really, really love Countryside. Brilliant things about their design is they have skylight in the kitchen. So it really bright and vibrant. And all the show homes, we literally sold the moment we saw the show home. It was worth the journey driving from Leeds to Manchester to see it. So I was really happy with it. And with this, I think the budget gone up to 280k. Again, we was fine with it. However, there was no incentive again this time. Actually, happy to give us a dishwasher, and that was all. Again, no flooring, or actually Tristan might be trying to negotiate with him to see if we could have flooring this time, because we knew from the previous one how much it would have cost to cover the cost of the whole house. So we're like, oh, we can't afford it if you're not giving us this incentive. So in the meantime, we did drive around the developer, the area. With next to Countryside, there was Miller Homes, there was Avant, and there was Red Road. Avant house was really nice, so we kind of like, oh, we're free anyway, we reserve it, the third house at Countryside. But I'm still seeing an offense of like, I like the skylight in the kitchen, but that's haven't sold me totally, thinking, oh my god, it's a dream house and I have to have it. I've never felt that way. So we still went to see the show home with the van. It was really nice. It had all the chrome sockets. The house was really modern. Even the temperature in the house, it was very digital. The bathroom was all ensuite. It was lovely. So it was like, oh, it could be an option. The only one thing I didn't like about them was there was no hallway. So when you open the main door, you go straight into the kitchen, and I didn't like that, because what if you was having dinner and somebody would come in, knock in the door, and they would see everyone sitting and having dinner? I didn't like the idea of that, so Avan was scraped off the option. Miller Home, we went to see it. There was only, at that point, there was much available within our budget. Only one of the terrace house, but they built it like London kind of houses, so across over 3 floors, plenty of rooms. But it just looked like guest rooms. I didn't feel homely when I look at the house. So it was out of the question. And third one, we stopped outside one of the Red Road homes. We just kind of just parked outside. I mean, it was the end of the day, so we just parked outside. Red Road was never in our equation because we thought, oh, the house is starting at 250k and it's really expensive. I mean, they are reputable as a builder, but you know, we could never afford a Red Road house. So anyway, we just sort of like, okay, you know, we just loitering around and see if we can, like, just to widen our eyes, basically. We'd park outside one of their house, and it was, I think it was one of the Oxford Lifestyle, actually. So we look on the budget and it was 360k. I was like, Tristan, how about this one? And he was like, no way we can afford it. I thought, oh man, let's go and speak to them. We never know. And we're only young. We can actually stretch our mortgage to as long as 40 years. And, you know, they might be able to do something to make it easier for it to get this house. So Tristan was really reluctant, but I was kind of like, well, if we get this house, we're never gonna have to move because it's big enough for two of us. And if we're having kids down the line in the future, it was still okay. We've got plenty of room. The house is immaculate, and it's always going to be the top quality builder. Trying to sell it to Tristan, we wasn't convinced, but we still went to speak to the saleswoman. She was fantastic. She was really lovely. She was telling us what all the incentive that they have. I'm not sure why this one isn't sold, because it technically will be completed in 2 or 3 months, but it's still not sold. So the house cost 360k, so 5% of it will be 18k. So we would have to, oh my god, what should I do? Should I ring around, see if I can borrow? 18 was literally the maximum stretch that we could have at that moment in time. Yes, we can afford the mortgage, but 18,000 was literally our limit. So what other incentives can you give us? Because we really like it. At that point, it was just, we really like it. I'm not sure about Tristan. So she was showing us the house, and she was like, look, I can speak to my manager. We can add carpet and flooring throughout the house. We can upgrade your kitchen. We can have one of the wardrobe fitted into your master bedroom. All the toilet was upgraded, all the spotlight in the kitchen and in the bathroom. So it will be ready for us to move in. So we sold. We was really sold on it. And this is this point I was trying to convince Tristan that I was trying to look for a job that's near Wakefield or within commutable distance, that if I have to commute every day, it was still doable. That was it. We decided on it, and we got this house, and it was the best decision. And down the line, when I look at it now, and I thought, I'm glad that we went through all that journey. I'm glad that we look at different quality. We went to see, because we were really indecisive basically, so we got to see different show homes, what it looked like, to speak to different salesperson. Not all of them are useful, you know. You'd be thinking they're trying to sell houses here. They were trying to help you as much as they can, but actually that was never the case. And Tony was the last person at Red Road. We loved her. She was really helpful through the journey, and with all the incentive, that was really helpful with us. And even at the end of it, when COVID hit, we didn't know whether we should purchase this house because the price might go down the line. Everyone thinking about the housing bubble, and it's might having a market crash, and the house might not be worth 360k. It was like, we had a little meltdown at that point, and Tony was really honest with us, and she said, no one know what will happen. And we made a decision at that point to just go with it, because we were having the house for a long time. I don't care what's going to happen. You know, it might happen, it might not. But if we are getting this house, I mean, we can move in together quicker. We would have a house, and Tristan was working at home most of the time, and we technically need some place for him to work. So we decided to go with it, and that was it. And it was the best decision I made in 2020. And I will do another video, do a little tour about the house. We haven't actually filled the house yet, so there was still some empty rooms, but this, we can show you the progress of us moving into this house so far. So stay tuned, and if you like the video, please like and subscribe. If you've got any question about reserving or buying a new build, please leave a comment below. I will be able to share with you all the experience, all of the questions that we've got so far, and how could we have a little talk with to get all the incentive added into your house, because it come down really helpful. So thank you for listening to my video. Take care. Bye.